Ever feel overwhelmed by your to-do list and you feel like it's an unstoppable avalanche and you just wish for a magic wand to disappear all the tasks? Well, I'm not a wizard, but I've got a simple solution: building your own master task list. And that is what today's video is going to be about. Hello everyone, I'm Vin. Today I'm going to guide you how to create your own master task list. A master task list is a super to-do list where you write down everything that you need to do. It's your go-to place to organize and keeping track of all your tasks and projects. And it will also help you to see the bigger picture and plan your time better. It will be the backbone of your productivity. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 3 things, which is the brain dump, the master task list, and how to maintain the list. Doing a brain dump is a simple yet effective technique to declutter your mind and bring order to the chaos of your thoughts. So you need to start by finding a quiet and comfortable space. You can grab a piece of paper, a common book, or anything that you're comfortable with, and also a pen. Make sure that you write down your date at the top page and start writing down all the tasks that comes into your mind. It could be your personal task, office task, event, or anything without any judgment or thinking. The main goal is to spew everything that comes into your mind and do the thinking process later. You may also want to take a look at other places like your digital apps such as Todoist, Things, or even Apple Notes. Or perhaps you have been writing down all your tasks in sticky notes or some piece of papers. So gather and write down all those tasks into your brain dump list as well. I have a pocketbook that I always carry in my handbag, and I write down some to-dos in the pocket notebook just to offload some of my mental clutters. Then during the brain dump session, I will just flip through my pocket notebook for any to-dos that I have listed in there. After listing out all your tasks, now you can categorize them. And the categories are something that you are very comfortable with. For me, I have organized them in 2 things, which is personal, business, or work. I don't have other categories like household or family. I have combined all those in my personal. Now, you need to prune these task lists further by tasks that needs to be done immediately, urgent, that month, specific months, project, someday, or any other categories that is relevant to you. Create a master task list. I highly suggest to have it as a monthly task list. Let's say this is the month of March and you pick the task that needs to get done immediately, urgent, and relevant for the month of March from the brain dump list. The rest of the items will stay in the brain dump list. But when you move a task from the brain dump list to the master task list, make sure that you cross off those items in the brain dump list as well. Now, when you're doing your weekly plan, pick which tasks are going to be done on that week from the master task list. It works even better if you do a weekly pre-planning session because you can then assign all those tasks on a specific date. I can assure you that the tasks that you have just listed will not be done entirely. There will be some tasks that get pushed to another day, another week, or even another month. If that happens, then you need to put the task back into the master task list. For example, if a task is being pushed 3 times consecutively to next day, then don't bring it forward anymore. Instead, you push them back into the master task list because you need to analyze why you keep pushing it back and not doing it. There must be some underlying reason, such as like it could be a big project that needs to be brought down to a smaller chunks, or you just don't like doing it and you prefer to delegate to someone else, or some other reason. So you need to analyze it further and make a decision later when you look at the master task list again. So now any task from the master task list that has not been done on the month, bring it forward to the next month. In this case, April. Sometimes there are some uncompleted tasks that you have planned for, but is no longer applicable and invalid. So you can just drop it off from the list. For example, I have this bag that I wanted to sell and I put it as a task where selling off to the marketplace. And I have several other tasks listed with it, like taking photos, put up the listing. But I ended up giving the bag to my mother-in-law who was looking for a similar bag. So this means the task is no longer valid. So I just removed it from my master task list. Now you would be thinking, what happened to the brain dump list that you created earlier? Well, you need to keep it because you are going to repeat the brain dump process in the same days. You can get a new sheet of paper if you want, but I don't want to waste, so I will usually just continue with the list, but I will just jot down the date that I am doing the brain dump session. And then the process that I've mentioned, which is moving those tasks to the master task list, will be repeated again. every month. Well, what about the task that just comes in, like your boss probably asks you to do a succession planning for your organization, and that is considered a big project. So what you will do is you will enter this task into the master task list for that month. Why? Because you will be looking at the master task list every week when you're doing your weekly planning, and you will be able to process when exactly you will be able to do the project. And also during the weekly planning, you can allocate some time to break down those projects into a smaller chunk and then plan the breakdown task accordingly. I hope you can see here how the master task list is going to be the active list that you are going to be looking at every week. So the reason why you are separating your brain dump list and your master task list is because our mind processes so many things in our brain, and you just need a way to release all of them. Also, not all the things that you list in the brain dump must be done. Some of it probably will never get done at all. For example, I want to learn sign language. The desire keeps lingering in my mind, and I just jot it down in my brain dump. But after analyzing the list, I realized that I don't really have the time to learn, and it is not a project that I want to do now, but it's probably I will be able to do it in the future. So what I did was I moved that task into my someday list, which I will take a look at once in a while when I have like some empty space in my time. So now that the task is off my brain, I can focus on other things. Another example is probably you want to do some house renovation, but after analyzing it, you realize that it's going to be costly and probably it's not the right time. You will just drop off from the brain dump list, so it will never go into your master task list at all. So as I said, there are tasks that will just die off within the brain dump list without making it into the master task list. So in a nutshell, brain dump is the download hub and the master task list is the control hub. Keep your brain clear and your tasks organized by regularly updating these lists. Trust me, it will help you to focus on what truly matters. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the thumbs up button and also subscribe if you are into planning, productivity, and organization videos. Until then, have a productive day and happy planning. Bye!